Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our Smackdown 2 career mode. I, of course, am CR Daredevil, and if you missed the last episode, you should definitely go back and watch that because it was a whole lot of fun, chaos stuff that was happening. We did a whole thing, we did some stuff, some other things, some other stuff, and we did all that. Uh, we have had um, a good few months into this save so far, or into this whole thing. Um, we are going to be starting the month of September after we just got done with our SummerSlam, where our month of August was very interesting. We managed to make ourselves right in line for a shot at the light heavyweight championship. We are, in fact, the number one contender for said light heavyweight championship, which you will be able to see in a second here. I'm gonna flip this over. So yeah, light heavyweight championship. We are the number one contenders for the championship. Number one contender over after defeating Dean Malenko in a great matchup earlier in the month, that is. And now we dive into September. We see how things go with Eddie Guerrero looking at us kind of confused. I've got our updated rankings and win-loss records, so I will be updating as the season, or as the month plays out, as I have been doing. And we'll kind of go from there. So, time to dive into a match. The first week, Raw is War. This is a show. Hey, the tag team titles are finally on the line. Alright, we open up Raw is War with a match between Taka Michinoku, who is currently ranked number 5 in the light heavyweight division, the number 5 contender, if you will, taking on Scotty 2 Hotty, who is the current light heavyweight champion. Taka Michinoku is 3-5, and Scotty is 5-6. So, not a lot of success there. They both have losing records, but Scotty is the champion. So, who gets the victory here tonight? Does Scotty get the victory, go to 500? He does. 6-6 for Scotty 2 Hotty. As we go somewhere else, we got Billy G chilling out here. This episode of Raw is War. As Bull Buchanan has arrived. Oh, man. Bull Buchanan, the greatest Buchanan named Bull. Steve Blackman did not like that joke very well. He's like, the hell did you just say? Alright, up next, one-on-one, it's Viscera versus Taz. Taz is 5-1, Viscera is 5-0. Both are in the hardcore title division. Taz is ranked 3rd, Viscera is ranked 7th. Who comes out on top? Viscera, by the way, undefeated and still ranked 7th in the hardcore title division. But he is undefeated no more because he just took a loss to Taz. And now we're doing something else. I don't know what's going on here. But Edge is really happy about whatever is about to happen. You can tell by his big old smile there. Oh my goodness. It's finally time. It is finally time for the posse. The Main Street Posse making their way to the Smackdown 2 universe. The Daredevil universe, if you will. Speaking of Daredevil, he's up next. He is competing once again against Dean Malenko, the former light heavyweight champion, who is 2-6. So his only victories have, or his only, well, one of his 2 victories. He won one match where he defended the title against Scotty 2 Hotty. Then he lost the title to Scotty 2 Hotty. And then his only other victory in this season so far, or this universe so far, has been when he won the title back. And then dropped it immediately to Scotty 2 Hotty again. So he's only won matches where his light heavyweight title, where the light heavyweight title was on the line, and that was only like 2 of the 4 anyway that he was in. So, but he's gonna be taking on the young up and comer known as CR Daredevil, who is 18-2 and is the #1 contender for the light heavyweight championship. Of course, if Malenko is to win this matchup, he might get himself back in line for a title shot. We will have to see how it all plays out. As Chris looks at you there. Here comes the #1 contender for the light heavyweight championship. All decked out in red. It's CR Daredevil. Daredevil, of course, if you missed previous episodes, you definitely should go back and watch them, as Daredevil, of course, has formed an alliance with Shawn Michaels, and we haven't seen that alliance play out at all since it happened, but he has formed an alliance with Shawn Michaels, so who knows what's happening there. Nevertheless, it is Dean Malenko and CR Daredevil here tonight on Raw is War. And since it has been a hot minute since I have done this, I'm going to have to try to remember how to play real quick. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I totally remember how to play, as I immediately pushed the wrong button. Failed knee drop there by Dean Malenko. Rake to the eyes, though. Back and forth early on here in the matchup. Big knee to the face. Takedown there. Dean Malenko with the early arm drags there, just taking Daredevil down. He is the technical wrestler. Daredevil is more of the smash mouth, roughneck, brawler type. So it's an interesting clash of styles here between Daredevil and Malenko. As Daredevil again connecting with that jawbreaker. Big punch here. Malenko was able to counter from go behind and hit a back suplex, followed by a running neck breaker. Going to comboing that with a suplex. Dean Malenko trying to do something there. Daredevil with the slap just tried to get some distance, but he got suplexed once again. Working on the arm for the Texas Cloverleaf submission, of course. Taking his head down to the canvas. Malenko gets hit in the groin. Of course, Daredevil, infamous for all those cheaper shots, the breaks to the face, the atomic drops, all that stuff. And these arm-trapped headbutts right to the face as well. Speaking of groin shots, there's one. Malenko fights back, though. Basically no-sells the fact that he got hit in the groin. Gutbuster. A single-leg gutbuster there by Daredevil. Or on Daredevil, that is. Caught from behind into that Cobra clutch that he's been using recently. Now Malenko's working on the leg. Set him up for the Texas Cloverleaf. The big chop. And into the Death Claw, as he calls it. Malenko survived, though. Malenko did not tap out, but he is out. He couldn't tap out because he was knocked out, and he gets pinned for the 3 count. Malenko did not submit to the Death Claw. We'll give him that. But at the end of the day, he could not survive it as he gets pinned. And Daredevil stays the #1 contender for the Light Heavyweight Championship. Now, Steven Richards is very confused. He's like, man, Malenko didn't tap out to that? That's insane. Al Snow is just there. He is certainly there. Main Street Posse are asking Shane McMahon to arrange a match against Bull Buchanan. What does the Posse have against Bull Buchanan? The posse does not like censoring. The posse is not a fan of being censored. Up next, tag team titles on the line. The Hardy Boys defending against Chyna and Eddie Guerrero. The Hardy Boys have defended the titles once in this entire universe, but they've been the champions since the start. So this will be defense number 2. Jeff Hardy coming in at 3-3. Matt Hardy coming in at 10-2. Chyna 6-1, and Eddie Guerrero is 7-5. So we'll have to see which team leaves here victorious. And if you have watched this series long enough, you know that usually one team wins over the other. And there you go. As usually, any male-female teams win. Male-female teams almost always win. But with that being said, we have new tag team champions. New tag team champions here tonight as Chyna and Eddie Guerrero are the new champions. And Bull Buchanan is getting attacked. My God. My God. How dare they attack Bull Buchanan like that? Bull Buchanan is a damn treasure, and you will treat him as such. Shane McMahon, watch out. There's Pyro. Alright, well. Chyna taking the loss. Or taking the win, that is. Over Jeff Hardy there. And we have new tag team champions. New tag champs for sure. What in the hell just happened here? Well, we have a hardcore 1-on-3 match. Is Bull Buchanan taking on all of the Mean Street Posse. All 3 of them. So I'm going to have to add them to my spreadsheet too. Because, of course. Because I kind of forgot that they came in at this time. But, something's happening. Bull Buchanan is not happy about the fact that he has to take on the whole posse, apparently. So that sucks for him. That sucks for him. By the way, I know why they went after Bull Buchanan. The game, whenever the posse comes in, the game automatically targets the hardcore champion and has that this 1-on-3 matchup against him. So Joey Abs, Peak Ass, and Rodney making their in-ring debuts and getting the victory over the hardcore champion Bull Buchanan. We'll have to see if we see more out of the Main Street Posse in the future. But up next, we have D'Lo Brown, who is 2-2, taking on HB Shizzle, HBK, Shawn Michaels, who is 4-3. Of course, D'Lo Brown, number 3 in the European title picture. HBK is number 9 in the WWF title picture. So not a strong showing so far from Shawn Michaels since he's debuted in this universe. And he takes the loss to D'Lo Brown here, so Shawn Michaels not doing great. Not doing great, but he's trying, and that's all that matters, I think. Triple threat match up next, as we have Billy Gunn, who is 0-4, taking on Bubba Ray Dudley, who is 8-4, taking on Chris Jericho, who is 3-6. Chris Jericho in the WWF title picture, ranked number 8. Billy Gunn in the Intercontinental title picture, ranked number 9, and Bubba Ray Dudley is the number 1 contender for the hardcore title. So, who knows what is happening with this matchup? Well, Chris Jericho wins. That's what's happening. What is happening is that Chris Jericho is winning. A big victory for Chris Jericho here, as Billy Gunn remains winless since his debut. Well, he lost his debut too, but he showed up late and has not won a match. Up next, we have The Undertaker, former WWF champion, who is 11-5, taking on Mankind, who is 2-7. Taker is the number 2 contender for the WWE title. Mankind is the number 4 contender. One of these two men trying to get going there, and it is the Undertaker who gets the victory. Probably as expected there. Then up next, we get to do this thing. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this this series so far. This foray into Smackdown 2 season mode here. As we've unlocked Pete Gas, Rodney, and Joey Abs. 3 new movesets and 9 new standard parts. And 6 new characters and 1 new Titantron. So there you go. We've unlocked all that stuff. We're going to have to figure out where to put the Mean Street Posse in the ranking system. But we'll do that off screen. I will do that off screen. Pretty sure I know where I'm going to put them, but nevertheless, it's time for SmackDown. We have an Intercontinental title match, and we have a women's match. Triple threat match to kick off the show between Ivory, the Cat, and Tori. Of course, Ivory was undefeated until the match that she eventually had for the Women's Championship against Lita recently, which she lost. So she's 6-1. Cat is 1-5, and Tori is 0-3. So you would think you know how this is going to work, but you never know for sure. Ivory's still the number 1 contender, whereas Tori is 5 and Cat is 4. And one of these 3 will begin a victory. But first, Kurt Angle's smile. Kurt Angle is smiling and happy to be here. Oh my goodness. The rookie sensation CR Daredevil is here at SmackDown, where he is set to be in action later tonight. But triple threat action happening. Ivory, the Cat, and Tori. Who gets the win? It is the Cat, surprisingly enough. She beat Tori, though, so, you know, technically Ivory didn't lose, but officially Ivory did lose, as the Cat gets the victory. Up next, we have Viscera taking on the Big Boss Man. Viscera we went over already. The Boss Man, though. The Boss Man is a case. He is ranked 6th in the Hardcore title division, but he is 0-10. That is right. For those of you who have not been paying attention, he is our first and only 0-10 person. Actually, he's not the first. I think Road Dogg was the first. But he is currently the only 0-10 person in this universe. Will he stay winless? Or will he finally get a victory over Viscera? Nope. He does not get a victory. The Big Boss Man is 0-11 now. My God, will the Boss Man ever win a match in this universe? Who the hell even knows anymore? Up next, Hardcore Champion Bull Buchanan in a non-title matchup against Bradshaw, who is 3-4 and in the European title division. He is currently 8th in that division, by the way. 8th of 9, so not a strong ranking there. But he could beat Buchanan here, and he does actually. Big victory for Bradshaw. Maybe getting him some momentum to send him up the rankings, whereas Bull Buchanan continues to lose matches now. Up next, Steven Richards, who is 0-6, taking on Val Venus, who is 1-10. So, you know, a barn burner here. A barn burner for sure. Both in the Intercontinental title picture. Venus number 4, Richards number 8. And Val Venus gets the victory. Probably saw that coming. Although maybe not. I mean, Val Venus does have 10 losses already. But he was not going to suffer his 11th here tonight. Intercontinental Championship on the line as Test, who is 6-4 and the champion, takes on the number 1 contender, Road Dogg, who let me just put this out there as completely crazy on how this ranking system works in this game. The Road Dogg is the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship right now, right? The Road Dogg, since the start of this universe, is 1-10. He was 0-10 and then won his last match. And that last match made him the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. So if he wins this here tonight, that might be the biggest come from behind story so far. But he can't get the job done. As he goes to 1-11 and Test retains the Intercontinental Championship. Then up next, it is CR Daredevil, and he's going 1-1 with the current, I forgot that he won it back, the current European champion, Al Snow, in a non-title matchup here. So that's kind of a big deal. #1 contender for the light heavyweight champion, and he's in a non-title matchup against the European champion, who's getting some airtime. He's asking about who his opponent is here tonight. Al Snow doesn't know that he's got to go up against CR Daredevil. The man who, with a victory here in this matchup, would be the first to 20 victories in the Daredevil universe. Can Daredevil claim his 20th victim? Or will the European champion get a victory over the young up-and-comer?
What does everybody want?
What does everybody want, indeed? They want Snow. They want Snow. They want a very creepy-looking smile on his face. And they want Snow. Actually, the good part of the United States does not want snow right now. They've been having too much snow as it is. We're not going to watch the entrance. You don't need to be watching the entrance of CR Daredevil. You guys have seen it plenty of times of this universe. We'll watch the other entrances because some of them we haven't seen that much, but you've already seen this one too much. Although, C. Blackman's theme is really great, but like so many times you can watch Daredevil coming out to the ring as he gets scoop slammed to start off the matchup. Al Snow misses with a big senton there. I have to wrestle Al. Sleeper slam, taking him down to the canvas, then followed up with a big boot. Drop toe hold though by Al Snow. Like I said, the European champion who has been having a back and forth battle with Perry Saturn over that championship. Both men trading it back and forth. I think Al's on his second reign as a champion after defeating Perry Saturn for it. Speaking of Perry Saturn, arm trapped headbutts. Actually, I guess Al Snow does them too. Al Snow's actually the main person who does them, but so he can't be happy about the fact that we just hit his move to him. Also, a jawbreaker. And a suplex, because everybody has a suplex in this game, apparently. More suplexes. Slapped him in the face and then swung his head back. Scoop slam by Al Snow there. And a super kick, taking him down, but he did basically no-sold it. Daredevil flips over, but catches the eyes there. Stomping him in the corner. And slamming his head to the canvas once again. Big headbutt by Daredevil. And another scoop slam by Al Snow. Into that Cobra clutch. Yeah, the Cooper clutch might be a little bit more impressive if the guy, was actually strong enough to knock the guy down to the canvas afterwards, but who am I to question CR Daredevil? Oh, the low blow. The low blow to Al Snow. He keeps going for the, I don't know if that's supposed to be the senton or a leg drop, but he keeps going for it and he keeps missing. Back and forth contest here by these two men. Al Snow working on the knee, followed by a big clothesline. Of course, it is a highly competitive matchup here. The European champion and the number one contender for the light heavyweight championship. Misses with that big boot. It's caught with a jawbreaker, taking him down to the canvas here. Misses with that kick again, but was able to rake the eyes. Kick to the gut there, and then a big headbutt, taking Al Snow down. Al coming back with a jawbreaker, though. Big back and forth matchup between these two. The chops take him down. Taking him down with the chops again. Oh, that's that big kick right to the side of the head. Scoop slam there. Another jawbreaker by Al Snow. I think that his jaw is broken at this point. Al Snow with the jukes, though. Oh, the Yakuza kick, though, lays out Al Snow. Picked up into the Deathclaw. And that's it. A highly competitive matchup here in this contest. But at the end of the day, Daredevil gets his 20th victory over the European champion. Highly competitive matchup. Back and forth contest there for sure. Gotta imagine Daredevil's jaw's gotta be hurting after all those jawbreakers he took in that match. But at the end of the day, one man reigns supreme, and that is CR Daredevil, the man aiming his sights on the light heavyweight championship. I'll have to see if he can claim it before the end of the year for sure. All it takes, I mean, the way it seems like right now, all it takes is just one shot. I mean, he lost a match to Kurt Angle, who hasn't, he's won a couple of other matches since then, but hasn't really done a lot. And then he lost that triple threat match on pay-per-view. Otherwise, Daredevil has not lost another match. He has been on a roll. Speaking of Shawn Michaels, he is in action against Triple H. Triple H, the current WWF champion, with a record of 13-6. And he's taking on Shawn Michaels, friend versus friend, with Matt Hardy for some reason as a special referee. I don't know where Matt Hardy fits in on this, but sure, why not? DX imploding with Matt Hardy's the ref. And Shawn looked good early on, but could not get it done, as Triple H goes to 14-6. He is seemingly kind of unstoppable at this point. Fatal 4-way matchup to end the show. Undertaker, Chris Jericho, Mankind, and Chris Benoit. I mentioned the records of 3 others, but Benoit is the only one we haven't so far. He is 1-6, so not a strong showing from him. He is 7th in the WWE title picture as of the start of the month. Meanwhile, Chris Jericho continuing on this little bit of a roll he's on. Won that big triple threat matchup last week, and now he wins a big fatal 4-way matchup here tonight, including, or in a match that included the former WWF champion. So, big victory for him. On we move to Raw is War, week 3 of September, here in year 1. What a main event. But we will get to that in due time. Up next, we have Taka Michinoku taking on Grandmaster Sexay, who is 4-4 in the light heavyweight title picture. Sexay is 3 and Taka is 5, so Taka wins. He might get moved up the rankings, but he is unable to get the victory. Grandmaster Sexay basically stays where he's at in the rankings. Chris Jericho, the man of September here. 2 big wins so far this month. For some reason, the rookie sensation Daredevil is provoking Al Snow.
What does everybody want?
I don't know why. Maybe he's making fun of the fact that he beat him on Smackdown. And now Daredevil might have bit off a little bit more than he could chew, because he's got the ire of Al Snow, the European champion. And it seems like these two have agreed to compete in matchup later in tonight. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Dean Malenko taking on Crash here. Crash, the 0-5. The 0-5, bottom of the barrel. Crash Holly, who pulls out a big victory. What has happened to Dean Malenko? Dean Malenko is falling so far that he even gave a loss, or even took a loss to the previously undefeated, or previously winless, that is, Crash Holly. Dean Malenko is falling down the light heavyweight title rankings for sure. Up next, we have Bradshaw taking on Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy, who is 10-3, taking on Bradshaw, who is 4-4. Both in the European title picture. And Bradshaw gets a surprise victory. Matt Hardy struggling ever since he lost the tag titles. Fatal 4-way action. The Good Father, Edge, X-Pac, and Chyna. Good Father is 6-3 in the European title picture. Edge is 5-8, Intercontinental. X-Pac is 1-11 in the Intercontinental. And of course, Chyna, the new one half of the tag team champions. A new co-holder of the tag team champions, if you will. Edge gets a victory here too. Chyna getting some momentum going for her. She is getting that momentum going. She's able to defeat 3 other people in a fatal 4-way matchup. Up next, a rematch from last week. It is CR Daredevil taking on Al Snow. Snow was not happy about losing to the rookie sensation. Doesn't deem that fitting of the European champion. And he will have to defend himself and his honor here tonight on Raw's War.
What does everybody want?
What does everybody want? We just saw his entrance. There's Crash. He's really happy about the fact that he got a victory here tonight. Daredevil coming right out of the gate with a bunch of hits to the face there. Immediately taking it to Al Snow. Snow hitting that scoop slam. They hit a bunch of in that last matchup. Drop toe hold as well. Oh, he got kicked in the face as he came charging at Daredevil. Caught the leg, spun him around. Cobra clutch. Bam. A big punch in the face there. Biggest scoop slam for his troubles. Another scoop slam. Al Snow mastered the scoop slam at this point. Clothesline there. And a suplex. Al Snow not happy about the fact that he took that loss last week. He is looking to get some revenge. Daredevil connecting with a jawbreaker of his own, as we saw all of the jawbreakers that happened last week. And Al Snow finally connected kind of with that leg drop thing. He connected with it, but Daredevil was already getting up at that point, so kind of wonky connecting. Nevertheless, Al Snow connecting with a vertical suplex here. Daredevil trying to do what he can to take it to the European champion here in this rematch from last week. What the hell? Daredevil just did a diving headbutt, or like a falling headbutt, on a standing man who flipped forward after selling it. This with the Yakuza kick. Got caught with a scoop slam once again. Jawbreaker by Daredevil. Daredevil says, whatever you can do, I can do better, and he hits a big knee drop from the top rope. And the groin shot, once again. Dastardly groin shots by CR Daredevil, this heel that he is. Oh, there. Speaking of, there's another one. Al Snow appears to be out, and Al Snow is eating the Death Claw. But this time he survived. Oh my god, not only does he survive, he gets right back up. Al Snow says, screw the Death Claw. He is not about to sell that. Al Snow is pissed. European champion refuses to go down to the Death Claw. And Daredevil looks pissed. He is firing on all sorts of cylinders right now, but he gets caught. He can't let his emotions get the better of him. He's got to stay in control here. The Jawbreaker. Al Snow keeps getting right back up, though. Big swinging neckbreaker there. Into the suplex. Daredevil's got to be feeling it. Clothesline. Daredevil's not happy about the fact that Al Snow was able to not only get out of that Death Claw, but able to immediately pop back up to his feet. Another suplex. Back and forth action from the European champion and then one contender for the light heavyweight championship. Another shot to the groin of Al Snow. Ducks under, hits the Bulldog. Misses with the Yakuza kick, but does catch Al Snow coming in. Oh, knee to the face. Al Snow and Daredevil just going back and forth. Oh, Yakuza kick to the outside. Al looks to be hurt on the outside there. Comes back in. Duck under. These two men in a little bit of a stalemate here. Look at that, just looking at each other. Snow or suplex there with the from Al Snow. The arm trap headbutts to the face. Al Snow still trying to fight off though. It is anyone's game at this point. Back and forth. These two men putting on a classic here on Raw is War. And what eventually could be a bit of a feud in the future. I mean, they're kind of having battles right now, but they could end up having a feud in the future whenever Daredevil decides to go for the European title, and that's it. Al Snow is able to survive the first one, but he can't survive the second one. As CR Daredevil gets a victory over Al Snow in a very, very highly competitive matchup. That was a big-time back-and-forth matchup that both of these men gave it their all in. But at the end of the day, CR Daredevil emerges victorious. The first person to officially get up from the Death Claw. I mean, Al Snow did not submit or get pinned off of the Death Claw the first time. He was able to immediately get up from it and keep fighting back. Crazy stuff there. He does seem satisfied with that victory. You know what? I don't blame him. That was a very hard-fought match. And it kind of helped him, helped him prove to everybody that, hey, he's not one to be souring on. He's not one to be looking past. He's one to be considered a threat. Up next, a hardcore matchup as Bull Buchanan, the recently just struggling Bull Buchanan, takes on Farouk, who is 4-7 and in the hardcore title division. And Bull Buchanan is able to get things turned back around with a victory over Farouk. Good for him there. Chris Jericho going one-on-one with Kurt Angle here. Angle, of course, 3-10. Known as the guy to give Daredevil his first loss in this universe. And he takes the loss here. As Chris Jericho continues to look strong here in the month of December. He's now got himself back up to 500 now. He's currently 6-6. Main event, Stone Cold Steve Austin taking on the WWE Champion Triple H non-title action. Stone Cold, by the way, is 6-6 as well. And Triple H send Stone Cold back to the dressing room with a losing record. We move on to the go home for the pay-per-view. It is go home for the pay-per-view time. And it continues. Also, what the hell did I just see there? We'll get to that in a second. But first up, Edge and Christian taking on the former tag team champion Jeff Hardy and his new partner, apparently, Lita. So this is a thing. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think Edge and Christian were the ones who were the only other team to face the Hardy Boys when the Hardy Boys were champions. Like, they were the only other team to challenge for the titles. Al Snow is here tonight, and he is ready to go. We'll have to see what the European champion is doing here tonight on Smackdown before the pay-per-view. Tag team action, though. And I hate to say it, but we all know how this goes. Oh my god! We don't all know how this goes, because for the first time in this universe, a team that had a female on it took the L, as Lita and Jeff Hardy lost to Edge and Christian. That is a surprising result. Maybe the fact that Chyna became the tag team champion broke whatever stranglehold the mixed tag team had on it, and it freed things up. Hardcore title on the line as Bubba Ray Dudley, who's 8-5, challenges Will Buchanan, who's 7-5 and is the champion. Which one of these two leaves with the hardcore title? Bull Buchanan able to retain successfully. Big win for Bull Buchanan. Able to retain his hardcore championship over the former hardcore champion, by the way. He was the man who held that championship last. So there you go. And up next we have Matt Hardy taking on S.A. Rios, who is in the light heavyweight division and is 3-1. He's not used a lot, is S.A. Rios. But he has a match here. And he loses. He's also not taking much advantage of his opportunities. Although he's still technically has a winning record, but takes a loss to Matt Hardy. Alright, what in the hell is this matchup? This is the thing that caught me off guard. Obviously, that is Kai and Tai. They're taking on the team of Tori and Stephanie McMahon. I don't know why they're connected as a team in this. They're not in DX. I broke up the... Like, I took Stephanie... I'm pretty sure I took Stephanie and Tori out of DX. So I don't know why this is a team, but this is a team that's happening. We're having Tori and Stephanie McMahon taking on Kai and Tai. In what would definitely be an interesting match in real life, I guess. And Tori and Stephanie actually win, too. Boy, if you want to make yourselves look fantastic at this point, lose to Tori and a part-time, not great wrestler in Stephanie McMahon. 1-on-1 now, as we got Billy Gunn taking on a Taz. That's Taz. But does Taz get the victory over the winless Billy Gunn? Oh my god, Billy Gunn finally won a match. Man, we have had two people who have not won a match before winning matches here tonight on this show over people who they should have defeated or should have lost to. Especially that one, because Taz, that was Taz's only second loss out of 8 matches so far. And he lost to Billy Gunn. So there's that. Anywhere Falls matchup, Devon Dudley taking on, I believe it was Steven Richards, but I lost it because we decided to go somewhere else. There's Lita. She lost earlier in the night. There's Al Snow. He's walking backstage. He wants to speak with Daredevil for some reason. He wants to ask for one more match. One more match. That was Steven Richards. Okay. Devon Dudley 1-4. Steven Richards 0-7. Make that 0-8. He still can't get a victory. But props to Devon. Gets a second win. All right. 3 weeks in a row. Third time's a charm. All that fancy stuff. It is Daredevil and Snow once again. Only this time, Daredevil's going for his 22nd victory in the Daredevil universe. What? That's actually not the promo he's cutting. He's actually cutting this following promo. Listen, I don't understand why this idiot Al Snow continues to come after me. But if he wants to keep coming and fight me, that's fine. I'll keep getting easy victories over him. I'll keep getting tons and tons of victories over him until Scotty 2 Hotty gets out of hiding and defends his light heavyweight championship against me. So, Scotty, I hope you're paying attention, because what I'm going to do to Al Snow tonight is what your future is. My God, what a promo from Daredevil. As he gets ready for his match against Al Snow right here and now. Al Snow, the man crazy enough to take on this rookie sensation 3 times in a row.
What does everybody want?
What does everybody want? Apparently they want a match with, they want to see Al Snow versus CR Daredevil. At least according to Al Snow, that's what they want. I don't know if that's what they actually want, but according to him, that's what they want. Big jawbreaker by Al Snow there. And then both men knock each other down to the canvas. Both men are just predicting what the other is going to do now at this point. They're both connecting with shots at the same time. The headbutts to the face there. And then a kick to the groin. Oh my God. Daredevil hit him so hard he flipped over. He flipped inside out. Help that person in the crowd, apparently. Hey, you're holding your sign backwards. You're holding your sign backwards. Obviously, I know I know what that's supposed to mean, but still, it's kind of funny. Al Snow dove out of the ring. Or not dove, he slid out of the ring. And walked around the outside only to come back in and get kicked in the face. So, good stuff there by Al Snow. And he gets taken right over the top rope again. I have no idea what Daredevil's match at Unforgiven is going to be. If he even has a match. He might not have a match. We'll see. But if he does, I have no idea what it's going to be. He's got this weekly thing with Al Snow, but I gotta imagine that if I guess if Al Snow wins this matchup, then maybe he faces Al Snow at the pay-per-view. But if Daredevil wins, then you gotta imagine that this whole little mini feud is gonna be over. And in that case, who the hell knows what Daredevil ends up doing at the pay-per-view. Maybe he gets a shot at the Light Heavyweight Championship. Who knows? Caught him as he was coming into the ring. Al Snow spent a lot of time on the outside in this matchup. Back and forth contest. Once again, matching up with each other's moves. Again, doing it. Oh, the low blow. The low blow always changes things, but it looked like Daredevil's going to go for the Deathclaw there, but Al Snow is able to immediately fight up and connect, get out of the way of it, basically. Al Snow's hurt, though. And Al Snow is getting the Deathclaw. But he doesn't give up. It's a rope break when he tries to go for the pin. Al Snow, the greatest wrestler to ever face Daredevil at this point. He's able to technically get out of the Deathclaw 2 different times. Big scoop slam from Al Snow. Bulldog from behind there. Ducks under. Oh my god! Yeah, that's it. He just knocked Al Snow's lights out. Good lord. He waited for Al Snow to come off the ropes. Or to come off that top rope and miss with the axe handle. And then just kicked his freaking head off with that Yakuza kick. And just like that, 3-0 against Al Snow. My god. Al Snow maybe just got his head kicked on straight with that. Who knows? We'll see. Then again, maybe he challenges him for another match. Who the hell knows either? Nope. Never mind. Al Snow hurt himself. Maybe that's what happened there. Maybe Al Snow jumped off the top rope and landed on his leg funny. And that's what set him up for that big Yakuza kick. And he just immediately sold it. Just like, hey, I gotta go. I gotta go to the back. Nevertheless, main event. Mankind, Chris Benoit, and Rikishi. Rikishi is 5-4, by the way, in the WWE title picture. And make that 6-4 as he gets the victory here on the Go Home show to the pay-per-view. Big victory there for Rikishi. Alright, pay-per-view time it is. Unforgiven. What is going to be happening on this show? What in the hell is that? Well, the light heavyweight champion is in non-title action in the opening contest of this pay-per-view, taking on the former tag team champion, Jeff Hardy. That main event, though. Oh my goodness, that main event, though. Oh boy, oh boy. Well, there. Speaking of the main event, there's the man who's in that main event, alright. There is the man who's in that main event. Jeff Hardy and Scotty 2 Hotty here in the opening contest of Unforgiven. And it's a good thing that was a non-title matchup because Jeff Hardy got the victory. Scotty 2 Hotty could not defend his light heavyweight title on the show. Apparently. And he took a loss. A casket match now for the Women's Championship as Lita takes on, well, I'm guessing it's a new number one contender, the Cat. Which, to be fair, the Cat did win that triple threat match, so I guess that made her the number one contender. But Lita was able to retain. Able to remain your WWF Women's Champion. Up next, Rikishi and Grandmaster Sexay taking on the Right to Censor's Goodfather and Steven Richards. Back and forth contest there. And Too Cool get the victory. As we go somewhere else. Somewhere else indeed. Al Snow wants to know who his opponent is tonight. Boy, is he in for a treat. He is in for a treat with his opponent tonight, alright? because it seems like he's taking on somebody once again. But the problem is, that's not the only person that's in that matchup. Alright, fourth match on the card, because for some reason, this is the fourth match on the card. The WWF Champion, The Undertaker, taking on the first WWF Champion in this universe, The Rock, with Mankind as special referee. That's right, we live in a universe where for some reason, this is the middle of the card. And The Rock actually gets a victory over the WWF Champion. Mankind must have helped him out. That must be what it is. By the way, The Rock also just won his first ever match in this universe. He started off as the WWF Champion, lost it immediately, and then had not won a single matchup again until now. So a lot of firsts happening tonight. We have an Anywhere Falls matchup. Bull Buchanan versus Gerald Briscoe with Devon Dudley as a special referee. Non-title match for the Hardcore Champion. Taking on Gerald Briscoe. And Briscoe cannot get the job done. Takes a loss. Foley's in there smiling. There's Bull Buchanan. And he gets attacked by Gerald Briscoe and Pat Patterson for some reason. Briscoe is not happy about the fact that... Oh my god! Briscoe's not happy about the fact that he lost, so he attacked Bull Buchanan, and then Steven Richards came in with the KO punch on both men. He laid out Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe both with a punch each. That is Steven Richards, who is 0-8 in this universe. Tag team titles on the line in a hardcore matchup as Eddie Guerrero and Chyna defend against Edge and Christian. Those belts already being defended as much as they were the last time, or the previous reign. And Eddie Guerrero and Chyna are able to retain the titles. Big victory for them here tonight over a team who really got the shot because they won a match recently. Up next, I don't know if that's stacking the odds or not because I'm not sure if Shawn Michaels is still associated with DX, but it is Stone Cold versus Shawn Michaels with Road Dogg and X-Pac as special referees. Maybe this is stacking the deck, maybe it isn't. I have no idea. Maybe they're trying to finally get HBK a victory. It doesn't happen. I can't say finally because he has won matches, but it seems like recently he hasn't done much. And then this main event. This is a main event. Now, I'm not exactly sure how this main event came about. I know how Daredevil and Al Snow got involved in this matchup because they've been feuding with each other in recent weeks, apparently. I don't know how Val Venus got added to this, and I definitely don't know how Trish Stratus got added to this. But we're going to have a Fatal 4-Way matchup to end Unforgiven. We're going to pretend that this is the dark match again, because this match should not be the main event of this show. So we're going to pretend this is the dark match. Val Venus is provoking Al Snow. I don't know why he is. Especially because Val Venus is in the Intercontinental title picture, and he's 2-10. Maybe he's making fun of the fact that Al Snow can't seem to win a match against Daredevil. Who the hell knows? But these two are provoking with each other. And also Trish Stratus will be here. And also CR Daredevil will be here. Who the hell knows how this whole thing's going to play out? It is a Fatal 4-Way matchup to send the fans home after the Unforgiven show. That had like 3 special referee matches on it. There was 8 matches on the show, and 3 of them are special referee matches. One was a casket match. And, yeah, there was a lot of chaos on the show.
What does everybody want?
And this is how they choose to end it. There's Al Snow. We'll watch these ones since we haven't watched them. Also, warning for flashing lights, because Val Venus's like whole bit at this point was this. He was a techno person. He was like dancing nightclub person with the techno theme, Intercontinental Champion. Whereas Albert hasn't really done much of anything. He's 4-6. But at least Tess has done something. And now Trish is going to try to do something here in the dark match for Unforgiven. Eddie Guerrero's just like, really? This is the dark match for the show? This is the quote-unquote main event for the show? Really? You know... it doesn't age well, but the fact that Val Venus, who is a big-time, like, player, porn star gimmick, whatever, and Trish Stratus, who was treated basically like crap during this time. She was made to walk around like a puppy dog and all that stuff by Vince McMahon. It is kind of ironic that this match is happening and there's a sign in the crowd that says, "Me too." You know, the Me Too movement and stuff, I guess. I don't know where the hell Trish was going there, but she just got kicked down to the canvas. This chaos. This match is just lots of chaos. I think this is Daredevil's first ever Fatal 4-Way matchup as well, if I remember right. He's been in a triple threat match, but I don't think he's had a Fatal 4-Way matchup yet. As he's pairing off with Trish Stratus while Al Snow and Val Venus go at it. Of course, Al and Val had their little thing earlier. But Val Venus is now immediately going after his manager at the time. As Al Snow and... I was saying Al Snow and Daredevil were reigniting that feud, but then they immediately switched off of that. It is a Fatal 4-Way matchup. There's going to be lots of chaos. Everybody's going to be fighting everybody. Pinfall only gets a 1. That's infamous scoop slam. Pinfall gets a nothing. God, Val Venus just got launched in the air there. Pinfall gets a nothing. Alright, that happened. Daredevil went for a Yakuza kick and missed. Deathclaw! Deathclaw to Trish Stratus! And she gives up! She gives up. Daredevil is able to get the victory in this match. This dark match that happened. Al Snow with his 10th loss. Maybe he'll leave Daredevil alone now at this point. In the chaos, Daredevil was able to get that Deathclaw locked in on Trish Stratus, who kind of immediately tapped out there. She did not survive long in the Deathclaw, but to be fair, who really blames her? And that is potentially how the Al Snow and CR Daredevil feud ends. Simply a Fatal 4-Way matchup in which Daredevil wins, but Al Snow wasn't involved in the decision. And Daredevil is satisfied with the victory. But he is calling out Scotty 2 Hotty, saying, "You lost in the opening contest, whereas I won the dark match, or main event, if you will. So maybe, yeah, that's where the hand was for the Deathclaw, right? Just a little bit ago, Trish, right there in your mouth. So maybe, just maybe, you're ducking me. Maybe you're ducking the man who you know is going to take the Light Heavyweight Championship away from you." Nevertheless, that is going to do it for us today. Another episode down in the SmackDown 2 career of the Daredevil universe, that is. Next, it will be the month of October, and No Mercy will be upon us. So, thank you for watching. Definitely appreciate all of the support for the channel, and we'll catch you in the future video.